What's the biggest enemy of a ropeways? How is it controlled? And how much does a ropeway actually cost? Today we're answering your questions. Hey, I'm Voj Tech. Welcome back to the Balearic Ski Resort, and this is a follow-up to the video about detachable ropeways. So drop a like, subscribe, check out my Instagram, and let's get into it. Let's start with some direct questions. Why do the conveyors take energy from the rope instead of being driven by their own electric motor? There are several reasons. First, simplicity. Less electronics, just a few belts, and very high reliability. Then there's perfect synchronization. When the rope slows down, the conveyor slows down as well. The system doesn't have to deal with speed matching. You also asked why the motor is sometimes in the top station and sometimes in the bottom. Nowadays, it mostly comes down to the ski resort's preference, basically where they have power available. Here in Balearic, it's at the bottom, but for example at Chairlift, it's up top. You were also curious about the conveyor belt and the access gates, but since it's summer, both are turned off. There's a big difference here between a fixed grip and a detachable ropeway. On a fixed one, the belt reduces the speed difference between the approaching chair and the skier. On a detachable, its job is to bring the skier to the loading point and kind of line them up. But there is one interesting detail here. Snow from skis gets onto the belt, but what happens to it? Otherwise, there would be a huge pile of snow after a full day. The truth is, the entire belt is heated. The snow melts and drains away, and they turned the gates on for me. These ensure perfect timing for boarding. When the chair is in the correct position, the gates open and let skiers onto the belt. But be careful, a sensor monitors the access point, and to trigger it, you need to stand right next to it. Not like in this clip. Otherwise, the system thinks no one is there and won't let you through. This is what it looks like from below. And one more thing, if the gates are closing, just wait. Don't try to force your way through. With enough force, you can push them open. And then you'll probably get hit by the chair because you entered too late, and the operators won't be too happy either. After forcing them, the gates have to be reset manually. You also asked about the difference between summer and winter. The snow is gone, the access point is moved, and the ropeway runs much slower. In winter, it goes up to 5 meters per second. In summer, it's 2.5. It's mainly for more comfortable loading and unloading, and you get to enjoy the views a bit longer. There's also a bike park in operation, and bikes are carried on hooks on the side of the chair. In the bottom station, the operators hang the bike for you. At the top, experienced riders take it off themselves, and others get help again. If you're riding with a bike, sit on the opposite side of the chair. It's for proper balance, so the chair doesn't swing as much. And by the way, white chairs for bikers, blue ones for pedestrians. In some bike parks, they use rear loading hooks, which are fully self-service. Pedestrians just follow the arrows to the markers, close the safety bar, and enjoy the view. And that's how it works here in summer. Before we continue, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's free and helps me a lot. And you'll find a link to the first part in the description. Thanks. So what is the biggest enemy of ropeways? It's wind, and it's a serious one. Here in Balearic, it's not too bad. The ropeway runs through the forest, between trees. But operators on Sneska definitely don't have it that easy. The conditions there are completely different. All ropeways are equipped with an anemometer, a wind speed sensor. The system automatically monitors wind speed, and when it exceeds 14 meters per second, the ropeway slows down. If the wind gets really extreme, the speed is reduced to 0.5 meters per second. Passengers are brought safely to the stations, and then the system is shut down and parked. And you'll be informed through announcements.
Attention! The installation is stopped due to strong winds. Operation will continue as soon as possible. Please keep calm.
Fortunately, here in Balearic, wind usually isn't a problem. And I mentioned the system, so how is a ropeway actually controlled? This premium ropeway has a premium control system, Doppelmayr Connect. It's basically the Tesla of ropeways. And if you know me, you know how much I like that comparison. A huge display and just a few buttons. The advantage of this system is its simplicity and connectivity. Not only do all new ropeways use the same control system, operators here in Balearic can also control ropeways in Chairlift or Conveyor. And there's also internet connectivity. Any software issue can be solved remotely by technicians in Austria. The core of the whole ropeway is the tablet. It shows diagrams of motors and brakes, controls the garage system, seat heating, announcements, or even chair spacing. I also got a lot of questions about how the Ropeway knows the position of the chairs. These are passage control sensors, called barosensor. They work on electromagnetic induction. When a metal object gets close, they send a signal. Connect processes that and manages spacing control or opens the gates. And what if there's a load on a chair? How do operators know? Otherwise, it could just go around all day. Radios are outdated. Connect includes built-in phones. Doppelmayr also redesigned the chair marking system. This sound is familiar to anyone who's been here in summer. When I press this, the departing chair gets marked. You can then see it on the display, all towers, its position, and the estimated arrival time at the station. There's also an option for automatic slowdown, for example for elderly passengers. And here comes the marked chair. If something goes wrong, the system automatically detects the issue and suggests a solution. Of course, the most important controls are still physical buttons. Start, slow down, and stop are always ready on every panel. I really like this control system. And finally, you asked how much a Ropeway costs. This premium one cost about 150 million Czech crowns. But you can also buy second-hand Ropeways from abroad, which are much cheaper. On the other hand, those massive alpine Ropeways can cost several hundred million. It's an expensive business, and that's why I'm really glad to see this kind of investment happening here in the Czech Republic. And that's it for today. I'm planning a third part where we'll look at storage systems. So don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss it. And let me know in the comments what you think about Connect. See you next time. Bye.